go, oh, I love the website, blah, blah, it's not a website, it's a WordPress blog. You know, it's just got a bit of a news theme to the front of it. So again, even that, when you look at the content management system at the back, it's really easy to use because it's WordPress. Okay. Okay, I'm saying to you about Reportage Club, yeah, doing the meetings and stuff. This is the BBC Radio Leicester room, so we do a lot of sessions in there every Tuesday from 11 to 12:30. We have that for an hour and a half. We're only one of two regular users. There's a disability organisation called Dane that use it as well. So we use the 10 PCs in there to do lots of training and stuff. These are our desks in the Mercury newsroom here, doing my volunteer reporters. And this here is at the Phoenix. And this is during last year's Sky Ride, when we had 51 media volunteers come together, so we actually set up a media centre. So throughout the day, we were capturing the event and all practising, but then we were using like the laptops and the iPhones and anything people had, flip cams and stuff, to send all that information off to, like, you know, CNN iReport, and we got the East Midlands Special Olympics team on there. It was really cool. They were chuffed to bits, they couldn't believe it, you know. And then we're sending it to like the BBC and ITV Central and the Mercury and stuff. But then we're sending it to like the Guardian and Sky News and stuff. It's just let people know you exist, you know. That's what it's about. It's great. What we do is every 6 months, as if we've done more than one. Every 6 months. Did you like that? Every 6 months we do a community media week. We did a community media week in November. We're about to do one in June. Yeah? And the idea was that we just encourage everybody in the city and the county, whether you're involved in Citizens' Eye or not, just to shout about what you're doing and let us know. And then we just sort of badge it up with like hashtags and stick it on Citizens' Eye and Facebook. So basically for a whole week we just run lots of community news cafes and just encourage people to tell us what we're doing. So this year, Wednesday the 1st of June to Tuesday the 7th of June, what we're going to do is we're launching the week at the BBC Big Screen in Leicester. They've given us permission to plug a camera in and actually film our launch. We're launching our iPhone app for Citizens' Eye.
Can you submit news off the iPhone app?
Yep.
Awesome.
Using the green button, which we'll come on to in a minute. And again, it's just encouraging people to do stuff, you know. Go on Rupert Rajani's show in the afternoon, go on Demon FM's breakfast show. Then
which is the student radio of the DMU.
It's got FM, there's 3 FM providers in Leicester. There's Demon FM, which tends to be student radio, Kahuna FM and Eva FM. I've all run shows on all of those and been guests on them, so we just use it as a way of promoting stuff. So Community Media Week is just an opportunity to get people to come together, a bit like events where you get people to come together and add value. You use Community Media Week for people to all get together, but then shout to the rest of the world that we like Community Media Week. It's quite funny actually, in November I got a call 2 weeks before from the Community Media Association saying, can we join Community Media Week? Which you can, you know what I mean? In fact, I'm already working with your members, which they didn't know, so that's quite interesting. So again, Reportage Club has been set up really just to deal with the kind of the organisation of events. Next Monday, totally random, the head of traffic management for the City Council, who I've met at like lots of wall meetings talking about like speed humps and traffic calming. I had a chat with him one day and he said to me, oh, I follow Citizens' Eye every morning. Do you? Yeah, look at the Guardian, look at the BBC, look at Citizens' Eye. I said, okay. And then we got chatting and I put up about, we were setting up this museum of citizens journalism. And he sent me this picture of him. And he said, that guy there with the long hair and the flares is me in 1975 at some radical underground Sheffield-based video pirate station that was set up. I've got loads of this stuff, would you like it? So we met up for a coffee and he bought this book about urban video organisations and stuff, of these 6 cutting-edge ones in 1970 that captured punk for the first time and all that. And what he was a citizens journalist from 1975, you know. And when he started thinking about the long hot summer of '76, driving around with this camera and his producer and the guy doing the presenting in this VW camper van, you could just see life had gone back to a happier time. You know what I mean? We'd obviously had this great summer, which I did impressive one, but obviously we had a great summer. And so I've been talking to him, but then it turns out he went from this Jekyll person, where he's quite talking about traffic, a little bit bored. Sorry, Andy, if you're watching this. Okay. When you're talking about traffic, it is boring, mate, to most people. He went to this Hyde character, talking about his absolute total love and fascination of Yuri Gagarin, and now next Tuesday is the 50th anniversary of his flight. and he brought out all these Pravdas and all this stuff that he's got, and sort of, you know, music and stuff. So next Monday I've booked the Phoenix Square and we're putting on a Yuri Gagarin, the Man, the Myth, the Cosmos event, because I can just organise stuff. And the National Space Centre love it, and we've got, it's just people doing what they enjoy doing, you know, why not? You know, it doesn't have to be for a reason, just get people doing stuff. That's what it's about, really. The Young People's Newspaper, Leicester Wave. Where did the name come from? A young person wrote in a magazine called Saw Magazine, and we used to do a community section. We did 6. We don't do it anymore. Did it every quarter. And what I did is I said, I'll do your community section only if you give me a separate cover. Okay, so I did 6 of those, 16 pages, and that was all about community issues and stuff like that. So I used to use it as a living brochure, so I never had any brochures until I made these ones. When I got these ones, I didn't do the magazine anymore. And someone wrote in there about this kind of you know, like wave of young people sweeping over Leicester, having an opinion on what they wanted to do, if you like. You know what I mean? So that's what we came up with the name Wave. And then we've got these things here called What Boxes. Yeah? And all it is about, it's a Stanley toolbox that's about that big, and it's just full of media equipment, like digital voice recorders and digital cameras and a laptop, and the first ones used to have mobile phones in them. We don't do that anymore because every kid had a mobile phone when we went into school, so we thought, well, we've got mobile phones. We've got 20 of those across the city and the county, and they're used in libraries and by schools to create media stuff. So I go in and set up a lot of media clubs and newspapers, and I'll give them a tour around the Mercury. You know, you get 10-year-olds walking around the Mercury newsroom just going, oh, a bit quiet in here, mate. It's quite fun. So they're called What Boxes. We own this box, and the kids own it. Yeah. The teacher will come to you on the second week of running one of these courses, and they'll just go, so and so and so and so and so and so is in trouble. You go, why is that? And they go, well, they were bunking off lessons to do what? Go and do the What Box project. You know, in the classroom that we'd allocated in the library. You've got kids missing mainstream lessons because they actually want to be doing a newsletter for the school. What does that tell you? You know what I mean? They're doing something they want to be doing. You know? And that's what the What Box is. And obviously, sessions that we have in 7 of the libraries across Leicester, after school clubs and stuff, where they create content, we share it with local newsletters and magazines that already exist. So in the Saffron area, we use the Port Pile Library, we'll share the information with the Saffron magazine, the SAF magazine, so they get content from young people. So they don't have to write about young people, it's young people writing about what they're doing. Yeah? And then we feed it all up to Wave. So what you do is you'll have like a series of like short stories or nibs, news in briefs in the Wave by young people that have been at these sessions. Community news cafes. I was meeting so many individuals talking about Citizens Eye who wanted to be community reporters, but what happened was I just didn't have any more time. So I thought what I need to do is create a venue where all these people can come to who want to find out about Citizens Eye, but then meet all of the community reporters that we already had. So it was a bit of a cheat, really. I did it so I didn't have to say the same story 58 times a week. And what I did is, I was saying to Stuart, I did some research on it, and in Washington, I think the Washington Post had sent like 8 of their reporters out to coffee shops to get local news. And then in the Czech Republic, as soon as they started running coffee shops or cafes as news collection points, it took off, community news took off. So I thought, well, there must be something in there. And I knew this coffee shop called Kona Blue Coffees. And like I said, it's just happened while I've been here. One of my reporters has just texted me the picture of the amount of people that were there this morning, like 20 people. And I knew these guys, and I went there and I said, right, when's your quietest time? And they said Tuesday morning, 9:30 to 10:30 is we lot. You know, every Tuesday it's dead quiet, literally you don't do any business. I said, right, I don't want you to give me any free tea or coffee, we'll pay for everything we have. All I want is to be able to put some signs up that says Community News Cafe. I said, absolutely fine. I think the most we've ever had is about 55 people, something like that, during Community Media Week, and we get on average between 20 and 30. So lots of new people come, and they go, I'm here to see John Costa. And you go, great, right, have a chat with, and I never talk to them. And then at the end, they're into it, yeah? If they come back the second week, then I'll have more of a conversation with them, because a lot of people tell us what they're going to do and then they don't do it, so you want people to follow through on their kind of delivery, you know. So the idea is that we then will plan something. We might be planning Community Media Week, we might be planning how we're going to run a media centre for Skyride, there's a Green Film Festival in May, how we're going to do that kind of stuff, yeah. So that's why we set up the Community News Cafe. And we've had people come down from the Mercury reporters, BBC Radio Leicester, people like Dave Thompson, know we exist and that kind of stuff. And with networking and things like that. Here's one of our little reporters taking a picture of 2 reporters from the Mercury. It's quite funny. This lady's from BBC. What's her name? Do you know what her name is? I can never remember her name. This lady here. She does the show on the weekend.
Not anymore.
Does she? Well, there you go. Not anymore. But that's BBC Radio Leicester, so she was one of the guest slots when RuPaul was off. This is the library where we lay in an editorial session for Wave. Dawnby. There we go. There's the library. And again, the top one is quite funny. I don't have an iPad, but what I do is there's an Apple shop in the Icos. I probably shouldn't say this because they'll know now. But what I do is every time I go in there, I just wander along and I log them all onto Citizens Eye. so what happens is people find that the Citizens Eye exists because they're just doing this, and so I'm going around like this, just going, this guy's right, I think I'll have an iPad too, like bang, Citizens Eye. So it's quite funny. So that's me using my iPhone, and I just got it taking a picture of Citizens Eye.
That was the day it came out, wasn't it? You just went into...
That was the day iPads were launched last year. So I actually went in there and put Citizens Eye and took a picture. Amused me, it was fun.
I think I did the same.
We get arrested for that kind of stuff. I'm not UK Uncut, I was doing this before this stuff. And again, the partnership with the Mercury is great. I get £500 a month from them towards the cost of community news cafes and stuff like that. To be able to buy the teas and coffees for the first people that come and stuff like that. So that's quite good. It works. Community media centres. What we're really